evening. My name is Lamanjai. This is News Review. Thank you for being there. Coming up on the show today, APRC have announced penning and understanding with the National People's Party of President Adama Barrow for an alliance. Gambians react. NPP react. Also on the show, my guest today will be Alagie Sanyang, a supporter of Essa Faal, the new entrant there in the political arena. These and more, but first we will see what the newspapers say. Let's begin with the Standard newspaper. NPP predicts emphatic victory following alliance signing. The National People's Party said it is certain of an emphatic victory at the December 4th presidential election following successful conclusions of an alliance deal with the former APRC ruling party last Thursday. That is what the Standard is reporting on that alliance there, NPP APRC alliance. Defense Minister says Senegalese troops not coming for elections, saying Defense Minister Cheikh Omar Faye has said a new Senegalese contingent of over 600 troops to be deployed to the Gambia is not coming purposely as reinforcement for the December elections, but on annual rotation under the ECOWAS military intervention. Another story there on the Standard is saying NPP supporter quits over alliance with APRC. Alagie Kijera, an NPP supporter and founder of the Barrow Fans Club, has quit the ruling party after confirmation that it is forming an alliance with the APRC. Let's see the point now, the point in newspaper, that is economic soldiers flee scene after allegedly killing two. Bystanders and witnesses familiar to the scene revealed to this medium, that is the point, that the ECOWAS military mission in the Gambia, soldiers assigned to promote peace and enforce law and order in the country, fled the scene after allegedly killing 4 innocent citizens. Well, that is what the point is saying. But it has been confirmed by both the police and the ECOWAS mission in the Gambia that 2 people lost their lives in that fatal accident there on Sunday. Another story there on the point is talking about a thunderstorm that killed 2 women in Njoben in Nyani. 2 women at Njoben Tukulor village, Nyani district, Central River region of the Gambia were reported dead after they were struck by the Friday night lightning. Yes, that will be all for the newspapers. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Now, opposition APRC have announced they have agreed to back President Adama Barrow at the December election. This came at an announcement, a big press conference APRC held at the Coco Ocean Hotel over the weekend. Matishango reports.
APRC announced on Saturday that they have struck a deal with President Barrow's NPP for a merger to be led by President Barrow. A huge move that is promising to spell great danger for the opposition.
The MOU agreement between the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction and the National People's Party was signed on Thursday, 2nd September 2021.
According to Jatta, former President Jammeh had given his blessings to APRC going into an alliance with NPP.
Former President Yahya Abdul Aziz Jim Jammeh aware. That question has been posed several times. I don't think there is need even for that question, to be honest with you. We have never operated as a party without seeking the advice of former President Jammeh. But what people want to hear, I hear people say, Yaya Jammeh Diam, Yaya Jammeh Keteng. It's today that people are going to say that. They have never been asking those questions before. So what I'm saying, very categorical, whatever we are doing, former President Yahya Jammeh is aware and has endorsed.
A key condition for the merger is for former President Jammeh to return to the Gambia, and the conditions come into effect once the two parties secure victory in December.
As anywhere, political agreements don't go into those specifics. What we are saying is, this agreement comes into force after we achieve what we are going for. If we go into the 2021 elections, all these things are processes, and if we are part of the system, we will know the process. We will be able to monitor the process. We will know whether there is goodwill or bad will. We will be able to monitor those things. All what we are concerned with, we have agreed in principle, based on trust, that come the alliance forming a coalition. These are the things that we will work through to see done.
Gambians have been reacting variously to the government. UDP and other opposition parties, surrogates, activists and commentators have all been sharing their views on the marriage between NPP and APRC. Mahdi Jabate announced over the weekend he would proceed on a one-man protest. He on Monday shared a photo where he's seen wearing all white and expressing his disgust at the development. TFN News View, Moti Senghor.
170 meters square. Deposit as low as $83,600 is only an 18-month interest-free payment plan with only 20% deposit on the service plots. Please contact 376-2333 or 776-2333. Tough Africa Global.
Now, top chieftains of the NPP met reporters on Sunday, that was yesterday, to welcome APRC's decision to support President Adama Barrow. Sidi Njai was speaking on behalf of the party.
Of the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction. To that effect, the National People's Party came up with a statement, and I want to read it as follows. The National People's Party welcomes the announcement of a successful NPP-APRC alliance talks for the December 4th presidential election and subsequent election cycles by the APRC party leader, Honorable Kabakari Tombong Jatta. The announcement will undoubtedly help immensely in healing, reconciling, and uniting our people on the basis of national development, cohesion, and unity. As a legally registered political party by the Independent Electoral Commission, the National People's Party, which is founded on the basis and principles of democracy, respect for fundamental rights and the rule of law, and its commitment for political pluralism, intends to work with all political entities, organizations, and individuals with common objectives of delivering services beneficial to the Gambian people. Ladies and gentlemen, the Secretary General and Party Leader of the National People's Party, His Excellency President Adama Barrow, is committed to building a strong foundation of democracy where citizens' rights, liberties, and freedom are respected under strong state institutions for effective checks and balances under a vibrant democratic space. The now formidable alliance of several parties, the National People's Party, the National Reconciliation Party, the People Progressive Party, the National Convention Party, the Gambia Party for Democracy, the Gambia Democratic Party for the GDP, and the Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction APRC will undoubtedly usher in an emphatic election victory and a new dawn of Gambia for all Gambians. The NPP represents and embraces peace, hope, tolerance, development, and the rule of law, as opposed to fear-mongering, intimidation, and divisive politics. The National People's Party hereby notifies all its membership and supporters of a great party of its development and instruct them to work together with all our partner parties at all levels. whilst we can do a successful election cycle, the party leader is committed to the conduct of free, fair, and transparent elections, and urge all.
Welcome back. Sidinjai of the NPP speaking on behalf of the party there. And also members of the public have also started offering their views on this new marriage between NPP and APRC. Farah Kamara tells us more.
It is the one political move that has left opponents scratching their head. APRC opting to support President Barrow in the December elections will continue to be a subject of much discourse in the coming days and weeks ahead of the December elections. Gambians are solely reacting.
Sorry for what is happening to the APRC, and I know most of their militants were not expecting this, and it's a surprising and disappointing news from their leaders. Deciding to join finally with Barrow, and looking at what transpired 2016 up to date, the history of the Gambian political arena from 2016 up to date it's very brainstorming. It's something that Gambians should be really alert about, because we have seen what happened. We have had the stories and everything that transpired, and all of a sudden the enemies want to dine and wine together.
This man says he is not surprised.
But my personal opinion will be this. My personal opinion will be politics has no permanent friendship, no permanent enemy, but permanent interest. Politicians will do anything it takes within and outside their capacity to make sure they stay in power. Even if it is going to take Barrow to kill Mohammed Dabo, he is going to do it just to stay in power. That is politics for you. That is why they say power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Whether we like it or not, any government, even including Barrow's government, the more they stay in power, the corrupt they become. So the Barrows-led administration is no more, they will not care about you, they will not care about me. As long as the interest suit his political stay, he is going for it. So it's not a surprise for me. That could apply to any other politician that is there. So Barrow is not a surprise for me for Barrow to go with APRC, because Barrow will do anything it takes. He will do any sacrifice to prolong his institution.
However, another man have a different opinion.
Yokkute mom dafa ba APRC ak MPP sen mbolo nek ben man dama fogg ne yokkute la ci politique bi mun na am lu doon nek ñaar nek ben legi fum na ni benen parti tam mun nañ def comme ñoñu luñu def mun na am ñom tam ñu am ken xamul naka la politique mom football la mun na kick ki mun na kick ken xamul naka la so man gisuma ci dara lo xamne dafa bon.
Duduja is the deputy spokesperson of APRC. He was at the press conference over the weekend where APRC made the announcement. He says NPP agreeing to work with APRC shows President Barrow's desire to reconcile the nation.
First and foremost, we respect divergent views. People have every opinion and right to object to this alliance we did with NPP. It was going to be the same. If we opt to make an alliance with GDC, others will come out and say we're not in agreement. Likewise, if we say DOI, they will reject. If you say Citizen Alliance, they will say we're not part of it. If you say UDP, we're not part of it. So the executive made some assessment, and for the national executive, we feel this is to the interests of country and party. That's why we're going in for it. There's no perfect system. There's no perfect organization. In whatever you do, you have lapses. But mistakes are inevitable. You work on to make sure you rectify those mistakes. Whatever is wrong, you rectify that. Then you move ahead. So people have every right to say no, they don't agree. What they cannot say is this alliance will not take place. No, you should respect other people's right. Right is reciprocal, it's give and take. If those who say no is respected, then those who say yes should also be respected. And the executive, we engage our structures countrywide to sound their opinion. And 99% said they are behind the executive and they support it. This is why we went ahead. If people came out in their numbers during the consultative meeting, I said, no, we're not interested, we're not behind you, we're not supporting, then there would have not been an alliance by now. Now, engaging other political parties, we did. NPP came last year. They're less than 2 years old. And this coalition engagement started since 2017, I would say, since the parliamentary, when GDC came on board, that they wanted to work with the APRC. At some point, they decided to go on their own. 2018, they came back during the mayoral elections and chairpersons. They also showed the same interest. At some point, they decided to go alone. So it's not starting now. And there is no political party, I repeat, in this country that engage APRC and want to allow us to lead. I am part of the committee that engages other political parties. It's called the Dialogue Committee. Some call it the Negotiating Committee. We've engaged a lot of political parties. We are yet to have a party that agrees that APRC can lead. We are behind them. Only GAP, by then, we worked out APRC, GDC, and GAP. Bachili said he doesn't have a problem whoever leads. He just wants to see Gambia get somewhere. But the last interview, I listened to Bachili's interview, he said he's open to coalition, but it will be a GAP-led. So which means he has changed his mind again. So we are not saying we did not engage parties, we did, but none of them wants APRC to lead. And our people too are saying we have the majority, nobody's going to lead. So it's like creating a dialogue platform to have a win-win situation has been difficult. NPP came, we put our demands to them. We cannot discuss anything unless you meet A, B, and C. They did. This coalition talk started last Wednesday was 5 weeks when we sat with the NPP to discuss the issues. I personally, they said there must be a time frame. How long do we discuss? I said 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, we have to get back to our people another 2 weeks, then another 1 week to finalize about the documentation, and we signed it. That's the duration of this alliance. 5 weeks, we did settle it. So people can speculate, they can say whatever they like. We respect it, we're not going against that. And it's fair enough, it's politics. Everybody has a right to say whatever they want to say. We have no qualms about that. But again, people are using the TRRC as a yardstick that this is why we want to do any coalition or alliance with the NPP. That is not true. We could fight our case on our own without any possible alliance. It's our right to do alliance with any political party, and we feel it is NPP. Let's see how far we go. But all those assumptions, definitely it's not factual. That's what people think. We have nothing against the TRRC. If the president wants, let him implement it. He should look at the greater good of the country. And his aim, his target, his ambition is he wants to reconcile Gambia. This is one of the key reasons why me, personally, I am supporting President Adama Barrow. Because national reconciliation for me is a must and is very key for sustainable peace in this country. Without peace, let's even forget about development. So it's very important we reconcile as Gambians.
The Fatu Network attempted to speak to people who are against the move. Several people who identified themselves as UDP supporters refused to speak to the Fatu Network, saying they are on a boycott of the network. We went to the office of the UDP leader Dabo to get a comment from people there, but they refused to speak to the network. Fatu Kamara reporting for the Fatu Network News Review.
Very well. Now, the new kid on the block, politically, is Essa Faal. He announced at the tail end of last month that he will be joining the race. He will be running for president. He declared that he is the best. So today my guest will be a big supporter of his. He is someone who really thinks Essa is the deal. He's based in the United States. So we are going to do this interview via video link. He is Mr. Alagie Sanyang. Mr. Sanyang, thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lamin, for inviting me to your show.
Very well. Mr. Sanyang, why Essa Faal?
Why Essa Faal? Let me go back a little bit before even saying Essa Faal and why am I into politics today. A lot of people who know me will be surprised to see me on this platform because they know me as a low-key guy who is never into politics. I was out on the ground, but I'm never out there in the politics. And the reason I'm getting into politics, the reason I'm supporting Essa Faal is the way that things are going in the Gambia. The way things are going in the Gambia is a disaster. The way things are going in the Gambia is a recipe for something really, really bad to happen in the Gambia. And I'll tell you why. About 6 months ago, I was looking for a watchman, and I had this guy. This guy came, and he came with his high school certificate. And I asked him, "Oh, you went to high school. Why do you want to be a watchman?" He said, "No, I applied for the police. I'm waiting for them to call me for an interview." I said, "Okay, you can be here. When you're done, whenever the police call you, you can go, and I'll be happy, and I'll give you my blessing." About a month ago, the police called, and I'm sure you all see it on the newspapers that the police is calling for the people who have up to go and start the training. I gave him my blessing. He went and come back and said, "No, I'm not going to go to the police." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because they're paying him 1,500. I almost fell to the floor. That in the Gambia now, someone who went to high school would rather be a watchman to someone than to be in the police force. My father was in the police. He was a sergeant. He was able to have 4 wives and take care of his family. Now, Gambian youths would rather go and be a watchman to someone than to join in the police. And
the cause of this?
The cause of this is President Adam Barrow. Speaking here out of anger for not being part of Adama. I'm speaking here because I know Adama, and anyone who knows me knows how close I am to his government. But at some point in life, we have to look at country first instead of our individual interests. And I'm telling you right now, if a Gambian youth who is the future of our country would rather be a watchman than to be a police officer, that when when a police officer is paid his salary, he cannot even buy a bag of rice. That is a problem in the Gambia. And I can tell you, in 2016, police officers were able to buy a bag of rice out of their salary. Today, they cannot do that. Yesterday, I was talking to a friend of mine.
Been a long-standing issue, the issue of police getting poor pay. That has always been here since, let's say, the former president's government, or even the previous government, the government that came before the previous government. So this has been a long-standing issue, right? So what is so special in Essa Faal that when he comes, he is going to end this?
Essa Faal's number one manifesto is ending corruption. Number 2 is to create livable wages. When I say livable wages, a lot of Gambians will not understand. But if you are a nurse, you're getting paid $3,500 a month. The cabinet and sal in Gambia is $3,000. What are you left with? Nothing. So, we talk about, the healthcare, we talk about the security of the nation, but we don't think about how much we're paying those people. We're paying a nurse who went to college, $3,500. What can he do with that? And we don't even provide them with gloves to use in the hospital. And we said, no, that's the status quo. We should let that remain as it is. No, we should not let that remain as it is. Because if that was me, if that was my brother, if that was my uncle, if that was my sister, we will have stand up and do something about it. And I know we can do something about it. We have the money in the Gambia. The problem is corruption. There's corruption all over the Gambia. There's corruption all over the place. And the saddest thing is, Adama is not eating from the corruption. Adama is not the one taking money from the government. It's everybody else around him. But you know what? If you have a store and you have a watchman who's supposed to guard the store and he sleeps on the job and people are taking everything out of the store, what will you do? You will take the watchman out. And that's why we need to take Adama Barrow out of the government. Let him be a retired president. We'll give him all the benefits of a retired president. Let the people who can run the country come and run the country.
Now, the issue of Essa Faal being the competent one here, when did you learn this?
Yes.
Is it just recently that you learned that Essa, when I say recently, meaning when he launched or announced that he's going to run for president, is that the time you learned that he's the competent one, or you've all along thought highly of him and that he's the person who should really...
Okay, let me break it down to you. Essa is a personal friend. I've known Essa for a while. And I don't think Essa is the only competent person in the Gambia to run Gambia today. I know Essa is 100% competent. He's not the only competent person. But for the person who checked all the boxes for me, Alagie Sanyang, today is Essa Faal. And the reason being, I know the quality of his character, number one. And number two, I know his experience. And number three, I know the baggage that he has. It's the list of all the baggages that we have for all the people who are running for president today. And that's why I'm supporting Essa.
People say Essa brags too much. I am the most competent. I am educated. I am the only Gambian who served in 3 different international organizations. These are some of the things he would say. People say he brags too much. He likes singing his own praise. Do you think that is do you feel comfortable when you hear Essa praising himself too much and saying all these good things about himself?
Let me tell you something. Someone who likes to brag likes to do something. I don't brag today because he have not done anything. People who have done something are the people who can brag. If you have not done anything, you cannot brag about anything. Essa has earned that right to brag because he's done it. Adama Barrow cannot brag about anything because he has not done anything.
Yes. Now let me ask you this then. Essa was the lead counsel at the TRRC. His critics. Yes. This is how they are looking at it. That this man went to the TRRC to launch his political career because, to tell you the truth, before the TRRC, I have worked in the media for well over a decade. Essa Faal is not somebody that I knew. I only knew about him when he came to the TRRC. And all of a sudden, the whole entire nation started knowing him. And then they know who Essa Faal is. And all of a sudden, Essa Faal wants to run for president. Then you have his critics saying, well, this man, on the whole, this is what he's up to. He's just using the TRRC as a tool. What is your response to that?
My response is two-pronged. One is that Essa Faal is the most qualified to run the TRRC, and every Gambian can attest to that. Number two, you just heard from Dudu Jah. He said this negotiation started 5 weeks ago with Adama Barrow. Between NPP and APRC, the negotiations started 5 weeks ago last Thursday. That's what Dudu Jah just said. If that's not the answer, then what is the answer? Because these negotiations are all around Yahya Jammeh, are all around what to do to give Yahya Jammeh amnesty, are all around what to do to give Yahya Jammeh his assets. And my problem with that is this. Adama Barrow is the one who spent millions of dollars to set up the Commission of Inquiry, the Jammeh Commission. That report came, he didn't do anything about it. He spent hundreds of millions of dollars on the TRRC. That report comes, what did he say he's going to do? He's going to bring Jammeh back, and he's going to give him his assets. Jammeh is going to be the co-president of the Gambia, because if we all know for a fact that Jammeh is the one who calls the shots at APRC, meaning that if APRC is going to be given or assigned any ministerial positions, who will be the one deciding who from APRC is going to do that? It's going to be Jammeh. So definitely Jammeh is the one. Jammeh is the one who created all.
I have a video. Yesterday, Essa had a good meeting in Banjul. I have a video. We are going to play that video, and then we'll continue this discussion. So, Mr. Sanyang, that is a video from Essa's meeting in Banjul yesterday. Sorry, the video was turned upside down. Sorry about that. When you saw this, you are not in town, you are in the US. When you saw this, people are saying that Essa is attracting supporters, including yourself. And now you see this crowd. What is your reaction to that?
So a couple of things here. Yes, I'm in the US right now, but I'm sure you know personally, I do come to Gambia at least once every month, so I'm very much in tune with what's going on in the Gambia. And yes, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because people are tired of the corruption that is going on in the Gambia right now. People want change. People are disappointed in Adama. Adama was elected to do a job, and he failed in that job. He came in here, he said, give me 3 years. We give him 3 years. Now he said 5 years. 5 years. Now he says 10 years. And you know, when people ask him, what have you done in the past 5 years? He cannot say anything. Oh, the bridge in Basse or the bridge in Koina. That's not enough. And there is so much corruption going on right now. And I can tell you, Lamin, I can tell you one corruption that's going on. And I want the newspapers to take note of this. GT board right now is selling property, beachfront property at Brook Heights for $900,000. This property market value is $15 million. It's 60 properties that they are selling for $900,000. How much are they getting? $54 million. If they sold it at market value, how much will they get? $900 million. So the government and the people of the Gambia are losing $850 million on that. So tell me, if Barrow can stand in front of the youth and tell them that I care about you, but I'll give you $100 million. What is the budget of the Ministry of Youth? It's $110 million. What is the total waste from the sale? It's $850 million that the Gambia government and the people are losing because of just a few individuals. I know Adama. Adama is not the one going to the bank and taking money. He's not that corrupt. But what's happening is they're doing all these deals on the side. They come and give him $5,000. They come and give him $10,000. They buy him a car for his campaign. Whilst they're killing Gambians. This got to stop. If this does not outrage you, I don't know what will outrage any single Gambian. One, that a Gambian would rather be a watchman than to be a police or to be a nurse. Two, that just GT board right now is causing a loss of over $850 million to the Gambian economy by selling the beachfront property in Brufut Heights for $900,000. Any Gambian, I know Adama does not know much, but he knows the value of land. And he can tell you that the beachfront properties in Brufut Heights should not be sold for $900,000.
Now, let's also talk about, you are saying this is impressive, the crowd that turned out at Essa's meeting. But here is one thing that people are also talking about. The issue of the country's imams. Some imams appeared before the TRRC. And the way and manner in which Essa treated them, the country's young imams do not appreciate that at all. They are not happy with that. And now I have seen this campaign by some of these imams really to find a way of destroying his campaign. Are you not bothered by this at all?
Let me tell you, religion is very, very sacred. And it's something that I don't take lightly. Because if you don't respect other people's elders, they will not respect your elders. And I can tell you that I've spoken to Essa all throughout TRLs. He has a job to do. And that job is to bring out the truth. It doesn't matter if you're an imam, if you're a pastor, if you're a soldier, whatever you are, his job is to bring out the truth. And unfortunately, sometimes people get offended by the questions that are asked. But it was his job. His job was to bring out the truth. And I apologize for the people who felt like they were disrespected. That was not the intent. His job is to take out the truth. But I gotta tell you, I've been with Essa around the country. I've been to several imams. The average imam does not see that. The average imam thinks about the food that's going to be on their table. The average Gambian is thinking about their food, their lunch, their depends, their lois, not what Essa said to a particular imam at a particular time that he felt offended about.
I mean, you have also, let me throw these two at you. This claim that Team Essa is using this 2021 election as a money-making avenue, because Essa, of course, Essa has been an international lawyer, attorney. He represented people that are rich and wealthy. And if Essa announces that Essa is going to run for president and informs, I mean, his people, his friends, people that he had relations with, they can all chip in. So that is going to be big money for you. You are not going to win, but you just want to make money.
So, one thing Essa said, which is very true, and I hope people listen to that very well. Essa is not a hustler president. Essa is not going to go to State House being a hustler president. I know Essa, and I know the properties that he have. Essa is not a hustler. I can tell you that. He's wealthier than any other. He will be wealthier than any other person coming to the presidency in the history of the Gambia. Because we knew when Jawara was coming, he was not wealthy. We knew when Yahya Jammeh was coming, he was broke. We knew when Adam Barrow was coming, he didn't have. I can tell you, Essa is, he's okay. But most importantly in life, no matter how much money you have,
is he what?
I cannot tell you that. I don't into his finances, but I know he's worth more than the Gambian so-called bourgeois. And let me tell you one thing also, Lamin. If it's fame, Essa has it. If it's money, Essa has it. If it's the good look, Essa has it. So why do you think he wants to be president? He wants to be president because, you know what? At some point, we Gambians have to stand together and say enough is enough. You have a president there who cannot even read a simple document to understand. When I say cannot read, you've seen it. We cannot get a correct press statement from the State House without errors. So we are in a very, very dismal position, Lamin. I can tell you only two things that have changed since 2016. And we want
the best chance of winning.
I am very confident that once people hear him out, they will vote for him. And the reason being, he has the capability, he has the experience, he has the honesty, and he has the character, which are all missing in the current president that we have.
And how let me ask you this, why is he so obsessed by this Mandinkaya Fasa? Wherever Essa goes to, Essa will say Mandinkaya Fasa bula Manding quality. He says that why is he so why is that complex? Why is he so obsessed with that?
No, I have not seen that. I've not spoken to him about that. But I can tell you one thing, Lamin. When Essa said he would, the first person to put together a structure for him voluntarily is a Mandinka. The first person to donate, and the person donated $500,000, $250,000 is a Fuller. So Essa's politics has nothing to do with tribe. Essa's politics have nothing to do with being Mandinka, being Wolof, or anything else. Gambian politics is very tribal. The reason being, all the political parties are selling the same thing. Now Essa is coming, he's selling something totally different. And I want you to see Essa for what he's selling and what he's going to bring to the Gambian people, not for the tribe that he is.
Alagie Sanyang, I'm afraid we've run out of time, but thank you very much for speaking to me from your base there in the US. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and I'm hoping that I will come to more of this. In the meantime, the Gambian journalists should look into the sale of Brookwood Heights properties for $900,000 to certain individuals, and the government losing $850 million. And I know Adama will not do anything because Adama himself, they will do that and they will just come and give him $1 for his campaign, and that's enough for him. We Gambians said we will not accept mediocrity anymore. Adama, ye doko kele inimbara boje modo ena kadu eman doko no.
Thank you for being on my show. What is that? I've run out of time. Go on.
Okay. No. One thing. I'm gonna say this in Mandinka. Adam other tilikilin depanso wuli kemeni wul taludu. Womu police kemen la karifa jodi. Adam baro la tilikilin depanso. Womu police kemen la karifa jodi. Think about that. Itala tilikilin depanso womu police kemen la karifa jodi. Ita police men kete kanda. Police men kete loka. Wol itala tilikilin depanso womu wala kadi mume jodi. I like it. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That is Alagie Sanyang. He's an Essa Faal supporter. There, he was my guest on the show today. We'll be back tomorrow. So until then, I'll be signing out. I'm Lamin Jai. Thank you.